they're part of the self-care. This means that patients use these products without the advice or the prescription from a doctor, and even perhaps without the advice of their pharmacist. So I'm sure that we have a consensus that these products need to be efficient, they need to be good quality, and they need to be safe. So why do people use dietary supplements? From a survey that was conducted, you can see that vast majority says that it's to improve the overall health or to maintain health. When asked in detail for what kind of health issues, then the answers were bone health, joint health, and heart health. What types of dietary supplements are most often used? Vitamins, minerals, especially calcium, omega-3 fatty acids or fish oil, and different botanical supplements. If you look at the numbers, and this is where we are today or will be in 2020, so dietary supplements market is $180 billion market. That's a lot of money, guys. So let's talk about regulation. So this is a map of the world with each country colored in the colors of its flag. I wanted to make a joke that basically each country has its own regulation, although there are some attempts to have some type of standardization. For example, European countries have an overall directive that gives guidelines on dietary supplements. But yeah, we're not really there yet. So let's try to make a definition of dietary supplements. These are the concentrated sources of nutrients or other substances with a nutritional or physiological effect. They come to the market in a dosage form like a tablet or a pill, and they're, for example, vitamins, minerals, fatty acids, different fibers, etc. Or is it? Because this is the definition that's valid in the European countries brought by the European Commission. This is a table with just a few countries like Australia, Canada, China, European Union, Japan, South Africa, Russia, and Nigeria. And if you look at different categories, the way these products are classified, if registration is needed, you can see that there are many differences. So in some countries, these products are called food supplements, somewhere they're called herbal medicines, somewhere they're classified under drugs, some countries under food. And in some countries, registration is necessary, in some countries it is not. When it comes to the claims that you can find on the product, in some countries, it's down to functional claims. In some, you can use approved health functions as a claim. In some countries, the claims are not permitted. In some, it's case-to-case. In some countries, it's standardized and pre-approved claims. So basically, it goes back to that picture of the world with different countries having different regulations. So let's try to take a look in only one country, and this is an example from the United States of America, where the Food and Drug Administration, so this is the American national agency that is in charge of drug and food registration and control. So if you look at the regulation within one country, you will see that botanical and other dietary agents are characterized according to their use and not according to their composition. So this means that you can have two products with the same active ingredient, and one will be registered as a dietary supplement because its intended use is to promote health, whereas if the intended use to treat or prevent a disease, then it is registered as a drug. What are the trends? Back in 1994, in the United States of America, 600 manufacturers put on the market 4,000 products. Today, we are well over 85 80,000 products. So that's a lot of product. So if you're wondering how you're going to do it as a community pharmacist, will you be able to know everything about over 80,000 products? Yeah, you will not be able to, but you can try to educate yourself and make sure that your patients receive from you the best possible patient care when it comes down to dietary supplements. Does the research on dietary supplement actually follow these trends on these numbers? So if we have 85,000 products and we came from 4,000 to over 80,000 in 20 years or something, has the quality assurance and the quality control and the research followed in the same path or speed? Unfortunately, not really. When we talk about pharmaceuticals, we all know that the quality control monitoring is a crucial part. It's an integrated part that each manufacturer needs to follow specific and strict good manufacturing practice guidelines to ensure the safety, efficiency, and quality of these products. And that we have regular testing of the quality to make sure that in our product we have the right active compound, that we have it in the right amount, and that we control different types of impurities in this product. Is it so for dietary supplements? Well, not really. So according to the Consumer Lab, and this is a contract lab in the United States, you have on this slide some data that they sent in an open letter to the United States Senate Subcommittee on Dietary Supplements, where they stated that 25% of dietary supplements available on the market, so that's every fourth product, has some type of quality problem. Usually it's that there is no active ingredient or there is too little active ingredient, that the product is spiked with prescription drugs, so it's not supposed to be in the dietary supplement, or that it's contaminated with some type of toxin, usually heavy metals or pesticides. So dietary supplements, can we use the same paradigm as we do for the pharmaceuticals, safe, effective, and quality? Are they? So let's take a look at each of these angles. Let's talk about efficiency or efficacy concerns. We all know that clinical trials are extremely expensive. This is what makes the cost of that one single drug that reaches the market that is now up to $2 billion. Yes, clinical trials cost a lot of money. And if you remember the number of 80,000 products on the United States market, that's a lot of clinical trials. So no, they're not conducted, and even when they are, usually the results are inconclusive and irreproducible. There are numerous quality concerns. Is the ingredient identified? Is it quantified? Has the purity been evaluated? Has the chain of custody been maintained for the plant identification? So from the field to a plant, to a manufacturer plant, to the product on the market. Do we have reliable analytical methods to characterize all the bioactive components in one product? Remember that many of these products are herbal products. And yeah, when we are talking about plants or herbal medicines or herbal products, it's not down to just one active compound. It's down to a few thousand compounds. Safety concerns. Are there any unsafe ingredients in the product? Are we maintaining the safe upper level of the ingredient? Have we made sure that there are no toxic contaminants? And finally, do we have modern analytical methods that will monitor and analyze and trace all of these safety concerns? So have a look at a few slides with the analysis findings. You see here that 46% of herbal supplements contained less than their expected amount of key compound. So that is almost half. Half of herbal dietary supplements on the market that they were analyzed didn't have the right amount of the active ingredient. You have here an overview of 5 very popular plant dietary supplements. I'm sure you recognize them. And you see that in all of them, we had a certain percentage of no or under standardized amount of the actually active or key compounds in those products. So are they efficient? They could be if we made sure that the active compound is present in the actual product. Let's take a look at the toxic components like lead and other heavy metals. Again, for the same set of herbal supplements, you will see that lead was found in all of the analyzed herbal examples at least one product or more, and that in some products even other heavy metals were found. If you take a look at these numbers, so 16 micrograms of lead that was found in one product, and if you compare that number to the fact that for a product that has over 0.5 micrograms of lead in a daily dose, then it's supposed to be labeled on the product. Of course, it was not. And this is, well, it's not even near the mark of 0.5. This is a lot more. So are the products safe? Well, they could be if we test them and make sure they are before put them on the market. Let's talk about adverse events. Of course, again, when you don't have clinical trials that are conducted, when you don't have post-marketing monitoring for these products, it's very hard to keep track and make claims, yes, these products are the cause of the adverse event. But these are some examples where you have different types of adverse events like arrhythmia or cardiac arrest or seizure or stroke, and where you have a percentage on probably or possibly related adverse event to a usage of a dietary supplement containing ephedra alkaloid. You also have different clinical outcomes, including death, or some ongoing medical treatment. So yes, these things happen. This is an example of a death case report that is possibly related to a dietary supplement use. So a man came to the emergency room minimally responsive. On day 2, he was declared brain dead, and the probable cause was embolic stroke. After research, it was found that the man was taking a lot of dietary supplements. He was taking care of his health. And one of the products, red line fat incinerator, was analyzed by modern techniques like gas and liquid chromatography coupled to mass spectrometry. And they found that the amount of caffeine in those products was the same as 3 cups of coffee per day. So multiply that day after day in combination with other products this man was taking. Yes, embolic stroke in the end as a possible related death case. So interactions is something that is well known for dietary supplements. I think that the conscience on this important issue is being raised among pharmacists and even among patients or consumers. Here in this table, I gave you an overview of, again, some very well-known dietary supplements like ginkgo, valerian, cranberry, melatonin, and to remind you of their intended use and drugs that they're probably interacting with. If you take a look at ginkgo or valerian, there are over 500 possible drugs that these dietary supplements interact with. So again, I need to emphasize the role of a pharmacist to give patient care when giving out these products. Talk to your patients. There are even other safety and quality issues that were not covered in previous examples. So you have tablets that don't break apart properly to release the ingredient. There is a lack of proper labeling, deceptive labeling, promising more to the consumer than they would even get in the product. And different concerns when it comes to recalling the product from a market. It comes down to the manufacturer that are often just not taking enough action. The recalls are announced to the retailers, but not to the general public. And finally, your average user, the public, has no idea on how to access the adverse event report. They don't do it even for the medicines, let alone for the dietary supplements. And the spiking supplements with prescription drugs, I'm sure you've all heard of some examples. The most popular products are those for sex health and weight loss. So you have natural products that are just spiked with prescription drugs. So yes, this is a very concerning issue. We're talking about adulterations basically, or about counterfeit medicines that are labeled as dietary supplements. And this is very important because these people are taking herbal, natural products that most of the public perceives as safe, and they're actually taking different types of medicines with them. Moving on. This is an example of the FDA recall system. So there's a recall of a dietary supplement that contains a medicine drug. This is obviously a product for weight loss. And this is not the only product. If you take a look at there's a whole list of products that are being recalled. Of course, do you think that your average patient or your average consumer checks their national agency's web pages to make sure that they do not come across on these products? Most likely not. Yeah, this is another example of different dietary supplements that are withdrawn from the market due to different quality or safety issues. So how do we provide quality, effective, and safe products to the patients, to the consumers? So we can talk about the role of the manufacturer that needs to produce this product according to the good manufacturing practice. Not all of them do it in that way. We can talk about the science that needs to add more standards for purity evaluation. We can talk about regulatory agencies that need to have a tighter regulation. We need some type of global standardization. We need fit-for-purpose analytical methods, and we need to follow up on the products after they are on the market. So what is the role of a pharmacist? Is our role to be a CSI agent? Well, if you are a pharmaceutical scientist, by all means, take action, develop new analytical methods that will make sure that you have the right ingredient, that you have it in the right amount, that there are no toxic elements present. But if you're a pharmacist working in a community pharmacy, please do not forget about the role in patient counseling and patient care. You need to raise awareness. You need to recommend products that you know or you believe are produced by highest possible standards. For you to leave with a take-home message, remember that dietary supplements are used daily. They're used more often than medicines. There are numerous products on the market. We give them to our children, to pregnant women, to old people. They're part of the self-care. People use them without the advice of a doctor or a pharmacist. And we have seen that, unfortunately, many of these products have numerous quality issues. So we really need to develop new approaches, new regulatory frames to ensure efficiency, quality, and safety of dietary supplements. We need to raise first our own awareness and then the public awareness, and we need to support our patients, our consumers of these products, to make informed decisions about their health. So I hope you found this lecture amusing, that you've learned something. And thank you for listening to me. And of course, if you have any questions, I would be more than happy to follow up on them.
As we are waiting for the question from our participants, my colleague has one question. So which difficulties and challenges you and your colleagues experience while analyzing dietary supplements?
Well, it depends from which aspect you look at it. So I don't know how much you are familiar the way analytical methods are done. I say always that the CSI TV show has a little bit distorted this concept. So to analyze something, you need to have the standard, you need to know what you're looking for, and you need a standard to compare it to. So when you're talking about dietary supplements, first of all, there are so many products on the market. When you're talking about herbal medicines, there are so many compounds in that product. So yeah, the first challenge is, do you have all you need to conduct a reliable analysis of that product to make sure, yes, I've checked all the active ingredients, I made sure that all the toxic ingredients are absent from the product. But then the second question is, does the manufacturer actually even care? And to give you an example from Croatia, my personal example, we had a person come to the faculty with a product. It was a mold cordycepsin, which is used as some type of immune booster. And that person was producing that extract, and he already did the whole registration procedure. And then he wondered, let me check it, let me try to analyze it. And he brought 3 different extracts and 1 standard from an already present product on the market. And in 2 out of 3 of his extracts, there was absolutely nothing inside. And he decided not to put it on the market. But it came down to his awareness on this possibility and the importance of this type of analysis. And it came down to his conscience. Yes, I will not put that product on the market.
And we have another question from Tayana. She wants to know, aside from curing and treating diseases, healthcare is moving towards promoting, maintaining health much more these days. How would you advise the pharmacist to adapt to this trend in the best?
Yes, as I said in my opening slides, people are taking more and more control in promoting and maintaining and advancing their health. They're taking an active role, and they are making decisions that are not always well informed. I'm sure you have all heard of Dr. Google, where they look for some advice on different websites that are really not that reliable. As a pharmacist, you need to make sure, you need to ask questions and need to make sure that this product is the right product for that person. You need to try and make sure that there will be no interactions, there are no contraindications for the person to use that type of advice. But also moving towards the trend of maintaining health, and for pharmacists to adapt, yeah, you really need to be keeping up with the trends. If you look at the mHealth and eHealth that is going on, you need to be one step ahead of your patients and be able to answer to their questions, be able to fill in that gap that is being created, fill in the need that is being created. So if the pharmacists do not answer the patient's need, they might turn to some other far less reliable sources of health.
Thank you for the answer. And we have another question from Zoya. Can dietary supplements completely fulfill body's needs?
No. You will see that in most of the countries, the way they are defined is that they're not meant to heal, they're not meant to cure diseases, they're not meant to supplement your regular normal diet. They are something that accompany regular food, regular diet, and regular healthy lifestyles. So yes, there is no point in giving your patient a dietary supplement for weight loss and not give them all the following advice, like exercise more, pay attention to what you eat, you need to follow a healthy, balanced diet, lose the alcohol, stop smoking. Yeah, without that, there is really no point in taking any kind of dietary supplement. So definitely not. They will never fulfill all of the body's needs, nor is their intention.
Thank you. And we have another question. Which ratio of dietary supplements on the market are not analyzed properly?
Not analyzed? That's really very hard to say, because what you have is usually research or papers published on a group that took a number of dietary supplements and analyzed it, and they will give a percentage on that. As I said, in different countries, different regulations are enforced. So in the European countries, some safety issues like lead contamination, other heavy metal contamination, bacterial contamination is checked for every series that comes to the market. But again, I've said that already twice, it's very hard to make sure that in every product that is on the market, every single active or key ingredient is analyzed. I completely agree that costs a lot of money, but maybe we can go back to one of the opening slides and talk about the 80,000 products on the market. Should really all of them be on the market? Do we really need that many?
It seems that we don't have any questions, so any more questions. So I'd like to thank you for your very interesting flash lecture, and we hope you enjoy giving the lecture at our Congress.
Thank you